Happy Thursday, people. It's Gino here from RealEverydayEnglish.com. Today I'm out walking and I'm in one of my favourite places in my local area. I'm at a place called Rivington Pike. Today's video is going to be somewhat of a listening activity. So I'm going to talk about this place, a little bit about its history, give you some facts, and you get to listen along and practice your comprehension skills. There's going to be some quite advanced vocabulary in this video. So the beauty of it is you're going to be able to play this back as many times as you want and listen to it again and again and again until you eventually understand what has been said. So as always, if you're a person who is trying to improve your English and sound like a more natural and confident English speaker, then you might want to consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do subscribe, please remember to hit the little bell notification so that you never miss a free English lesson or upload. I do various kinds of videos. I do grammar videos, I do videos on phrasal verbs, I do realistic, everyday, real life demonstrations. So yeah, there's a whole variety of English learning videos on the channel and it's there for you to browse and enjoy absolutely free. Now, the wind is blowing today, as I'm sure you can hear in the microphone, but I'm going to record anyway and then see where we get to. So let's take a look around. Just look at the view in the distance. I'm currently at the summit of what we call Rivington Pike, and the summit is the highest point of a mountain or hill, okay? And you can see for miles and miles and miles, and you can see on the top there's the tower. This tower is a very famous landmark on the local skyline from all of the surrounding areas. So you've got Lancashire, Chorley, Wigan, Bolton, Greater Manchester, and where I live is somewhere over there, 5 or 6 miles in that direction. So yeah, that's it. It's a beautiful place. I like to come here to gather my thoughts and connect to source, really. It's a place to think, reflect, meditate and think about life, really, and just take in the natural beauty of the surroundings that we have here in northwest England. If you are ever in northwest England, make sure you come and see this place. It's beautiful. So you can see over there in the distance, I don't know if you can see it too well, but we have an antenna. I'll just zoom in on that there. You can see the antenna, and that is actually a transmission antenna, okay? So that is transmitting TV and radio signals to the local area. And in the year 1958, I think it was, there was quite a famous plane crash which happened on the hill just a few meters away from that antenna. I think it was an RAF plane that actually crashed into that site there. So without any further ado, let's talk a little bit about the Pike and where we are. So this actual bit where I am now, with the tower on top, you can see the tower again, the lovely blue sky, look at that. This is Rivington Pike, okay? And Rivington Pike is a hill which is part of the West Pennine Moors, okay? So all of this area, all of this hilly, uncultivated area is what we would call the moors, and we use the word moors to describe a tract or area of open, uncultivated upland, so higher ground. So you'll hear people talking about the Yorkshire moors, you'll hear people talking about the West Pennine moors, so on and so forth, and that's what it means. It's just an area of uncultivated highland or upland, as we might say. So the Pike and its tower, which I've just shown you behind me, is a prominent local landmark and is located at the summit. It can be seen from great distances in the surrounding areas of Bolton, Chorley, Wigan, Lancashire, etc. It's very popular with hill walkers, mountain bikers and fell runners. Fell runners are people who like to run up mountains and then down them. So in terms of altitude, the point which I'm at here, well, the point at the top of the hill up there, the altitude is 1,191 feet, or you can also describe that as 363 metres, and it's the most westerly high point of the West Pennine Moors. the moorland, so underneath all this here, the moorland is underlain, so underneath the grass and the soil. It has what we call carboniferous rock. I even struggled pronouncing that one. Carboniferous rock, okay? And what that is, it's layers of limestone, sandstone, shale and coal beds underneath here, and they're layered repeatedly, so a layer of each and then another layer of each and then another layer of each. So that is what's underneath the grass and the soil that you can see just here. What else can we say? So from the summit, so from where I am now, you can actually see over there, you won't be able to see it on the video, but I can just about make it out with my eyes. You can see Blackpool Tower, and Blackpool's a very, very, very famous holiday town here in northern England, in northwest England. I'm actually going to do a video in Blackpool and show you the arcades, the pleasure beach. It has one of the highest roller coasters in Europe, and it's a wonderful town. I'm actually going to do a video there for my friend Rod. Hello Rodrigo, if you're watching this. He's asked me to do a video on prepositions in one of my favourite towns, so I'm going to do that in Blackpool. I'm going to go to Blackpool once the lockdown is over, obviously, because at the moment everything is closed. So yeah, that's where I'm going to go, and I'll show you the Blackpool Tower as well, which is very, very, very famous. Another famous landmark on the northern British skyline, which everybody knows as well. You can also see the Lake District Mountains. I think they're in that direction somewhere. I'm not 100% sure though. So it's called Rivington Pike, and Rivington Pike is a hill on the whole thing, which is called Winter Hill, okay? But it had an ancient name of Hirioth, which means rough or rugged hill and pick. In 1904, the author Ferguson Irvine described the pike as, and I quote, "the curious hog-backed mountain which crowns the summit of the hill, and it shows signs of having been shaped by artificial means." So what he means there is that there's places on this Rivington Pike where we are, where you can see that it has been dug out and intentionally made more steep. We use the word steep to describe the gradient. So if you say a hill is very steep, it means it has a very high gradient, okay? So if you look over the edge, let's look over the edge here, you can see that is very steep, the gradient, and there's people walking up the hill. Just round the corner there's some steps coming up, and the steps are actually quite hard to climb. Very steep steps, very steep. Look at some of the scenery. You've got the reservoir here, or the flash. They call it Rivington Flash, I think. It's just beautiful. Or you might commonly call it a lake. Okay, so what else can we say? So we can say that in the years 1906 to 1912, there was a car and motorcycle race and hill climb, which was held by the North East Lancs Automobile Club. So if you can imagine that, in 1906 to 1912, the kind of cars and motorcycles they had back then were a lot less advanced than what we have in this day and age. So I can imagine that would have been lots and lots of fun. Another interesting thing about Rivington Pike, just here where we are, the tower was built at a later date, okay, but it was used as a series of beacons spanning England as an early warning system put in place by the 4th Earl of Chester, okay, around the year 1139. And what I mean by that is that on various hills in this local area of northwest England, they placed beacons at the summit, and if the people watching from the top could see an army marching across, or they could see an army of ships coming into dock at the coastline, then they would do was they'd light the beacon, and the beacon would signal smoke, and that would signal to the surrounding area that there was an army coming or there was a danger. And the reason why the 4th Earl of Chester did this in the year 1139 was because in the year previous, 1138, the local army here was caught unsuspecting by a much larger and stronger Scottish force and was defeated. So that's the reason why they put this in. And this particular beacon that was on the top of this Rivington Pike was actually used as part of the warning of the Spanish Armada on the 19th of July 1588. So the actual tower up there, the actual tower is a grade 2 listed building and was built by John Andrews in 1733 on the site of the ancient beacon. So they actually used the ancient beacon as the foundations, so the concrete from the ancient beacon as the foundations for the tower, which you can see stood there today. And originally this tower on top was used as a hunting lodge. Its original design, so you can see looking at it that the windows and the door have been blocked up. It had 3 windows and 1 door. They've been blocked up, they're no longer used, they're obsolete. And originally it had a cellar underneath and a fireplace and a chimney, but the chimney is, I think the chimney's been removed and the fireplace is inside. I'm not sure if the cellar is still underneath, I don't know. What else can I say? So the former owners of this actual tower were Liverpool City Council, and they had neglected the tower, and they actually planned to demolish it in 1967. But following a public outcry, the building was then transferred to the ownership of Chorley Rural District Council, and they renovated it in 1971. So that's a little history lesson on Rivington Pike. Don't forget, guys, if you are ever here in Northern England, make sure you come here. And if you like, send me an email and I'll bring you up here and I'll show it you. I've brought several of my friends to this summit. I brought Rafa, my friend from Spain. He's been to the top here. He's seen it. And I know you can see that it's beautiful just from the video recording, but it really doesn't do it justice, guys. If you can see this with your own eyes, it's absolutely amazing. Okay? So, until the next video, take care, peace and love, see you soon, bye bye, ciao.